joy sticking hard like a construction brick. First time we met, the energy was so tight, like looking in the eyes of a love from another life. I'm kind of feeling that you felt the way I felt, but hey, what can we say? These were the cards we were dealt. I'm down for a game of spades. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, you bring hearts, I bring diamonds. I don't give a damn. tried this way. But naked Bob slid down a mountain, making a great escape. You're tender but sweet to the taste, decked out in lace. Brother Rob, butt naked, wearing a Batman cape. If this were the Olympics, we'd be going the fastest. Sweat and steam glistening from both of our asses. Our bodies together make this rhythmic clap, like my cape in the wind going flap, 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 flap. To infinity and beyond. Shazam! We flew past some skiers, they was all like, damn! All they saw was a sweaty black flash. Anyway, that's the way I saw us making love. What's up? You alright with that?
Okay. Mass salute. What up, dope? Welcome back, everybody, to another dope episode of Just a Conversation. We apologize for last week difficulties. We was gonna have the King Young Ryan Jackson Jr., aka Bop the Hip, on deck. We scheduled him for July, and he will be in the building July 19th. And today though, we got the young king, the young maestro, the young entrepreneur, label owner, author, father. Oh, happy Pappy Day to all the pappies out there too. Yeah, it's tomorrow, but I'm saying it now because it's the weekend, because everybody gonna be having hangovers in the morning. So we getting it out the way now. We got the young king, life coach Mitch. Let's bring him in the building.
What up, though? What up, though, everybody? How everybody feeling?
What's up? Okay, okay, King. Appreciate you for coming on, King.
I
Welcome to
appreciate you for
Just a
having me, bro.
Conversation. Man, let them know what you is. Let them know who you is, and what you about, my brother.
What's going on, everybody? Once again, appreciate the invite, man. It's all love. Uh, Everybody call me Mitch, life coach Mitch. I have a couple things I do, man. I obviously do the life coaching, try to help a little bit of everybody, man. Obviously, try to put my people forward, help the youth, man, help the males, get some of these fathers in order, some of these men, to stand on business, do what they need to do, step up, be accounted for. Do a lot of that.
Okay,
Do a lot of I want to say counseling, but I do a lot of coaching with couples as well. Let me see, active dad. Obviously, everybody doing sports and you name it, they doing it. I'm there. Uh,
okay,
One of my companies is called One Stroke Entertainment. It's an entertainment company. Obviously, I have artists, models, authors, pretty much everything kind of encompass entertainment. So a little bit of that too. What else we got going? I just started a podcast. It'll be launching at the end of this month or beginning of next month. Unfiltered Elevator Podcast. Shout out to my co-host Ari. She's dope. So we kind of just been cooking behind the scenes, getting everything situated. So that's kind of where we at.
okay.
Like I said, just staying busy, man. Staying active. That's about it.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, you wear a lot of crowns, my brother. Um, once again, celebrating Black excellence. Your child's birthday today. I know you in the backyard right now, and they chilling and
Yeah,
giving a good old party for the young king.
yeah, man. They
So
had me
we
working today.
appreciate you, yeah, taking time out of daddy duties. You know what I'm saying, to chop it up with us. Now, your life coach thing. When did that start, and what sparked the light of healing within you to reach out to other kings and queens to help them?
Honestly, it's kind of one of the things where you just already been doing it. You just didn't know it. So my mother kind of
Hmm.
encouraging me. She's a life coach as well. Shout out to moms. She was like,
Okay.
hey, it's this
Salute.
program. You can actually get certified to do it. I'm like, all right, check it out. She sent me the info. Went up there, and literally everything they were saying was stuff I was kind of unconsciously already doing. Just kind of, I mean, I just got the paperwork behind me, but it was stuff I was pretty much was doing already. And I've
Okay.
always been like into the mentoring, and I mean, I'm a literacy tutor as well, so I've been doing that. Just trying to stay active in the community, helping the kids when I can. I understand a lot of fathers aren't around, or mentors, uncles, whatever it may be. I'm just
Right.
trying to be that positive influence. I see how it impact my own kids, so I try to do that with others. I talk to their teammates, their friends. I'm the, as they say, the cool dad, or the dad they want to hang around or talk to and stuff like that. So I kind of just want to
Right.
embody that, man. Use it the best way I can.
Amen. Amen. Somebody they can trust. You know what
Absolutely,
I'm
man.
saying? And no, that's bro. That's definitely a blessing because young black males need that. Young Asiatic males need that for sure. And the young sisters need it. So salute to the queens that's doing the same thing that you're doing. Mass salute to the king, Dice Clark. He do the same thing you do. Actually,
No,
that's
for sure.
how me and you met. At
No, for sure.
one of Dice Clark functions out there here in the city. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Yo, that was the 50 King situation. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah,
bring 50 Kings together to mentor the young brothers and stuff. That whole thing was beautiful, man, to me, and it taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can learn if they willing to learn. Age ain't got nothing to do with knowledge. So,
absolutely.
in the aspect of life coaching, and I know that deal with a lot of mental health, spiritual understanding, upliftment. When it comes to that, what what has you grounded to be able to ground others in the same fashion?
I think knowledge itself is probably the biggest one. Obviously having a great relationship with God, but the main thing is
Okay.
to understand it's okay to not be okay, and understand if you're the problem too. So when I did the life coaching, I had the life coach myself first. I can't be out here trying to help folks, and you know, I'm drowning myself. So did some soul searching
Amen.
and got myself together. Kind of did that. Also, my mom, she is a big influence for sure. My wife, she's the backbone, the rib, whatever you want to
Hmm.
call it. She's a therapist, so I mean that kind of helps. So it kind of helps with our communication. And
Okay.
with that, like my mom, she's an interventionist, so I understand that our communication is a bit different and it's unique. So I try to use that. Everybody doesn't have a therapist as a wife. Everybody doesn't have a life coach as a dad, or a
Or a
counselor as a
parent.
mother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
when you like hyper aware of stuff like that, you use it. Because I understand everybody isn't
Okay.
privy to that. Like my wife, a whole
Exactly.
doctor. Like everybody don't have access to that. I sleep next to one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
those things I
No.
kind of understand. So I kind of share what I know and
Okay.
just use it to my best ability. I do a lot of volunteer work, a lot of community stuff. Like you said, the event we
Hmm.
went with Dice. I mean, I do something a couple times a month with different organizations and do what I can. On top of the stuff I do on my own, we feed the homeless, and I mean, you name it, we do it. We just out here doing the work.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Just like
Yeah,
Mass Salute to New Era. They the basically the new liberation army out here in the city, and they doing
absolutely.
things. You know what I'm saying? Great things like that. Um, what what? Let's talk about your entrepreneur. Now
Okay.
you have entertainment, and what other business you have?
So I have the entertainment company and management. Yeah, I do
Okay.
that. I do the life coaching. I have a podcast that I'm doing, uh, and then just like help with like financial literacy and stuff like that. And then I have
Okay.
a clothing brand. I have two clothing brands. One sold out pretty fast, so I'm just trying to restructure that and how I want to do it. So I'm working on that. That's kind of some back end stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna figure it out. But
Oh man, congratulations on that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
like
gift
I
and the
you
curse, man.
yeah you definitely got a lot of
So
crowns. Okay.
yeah,
Now,
man.
how do you balance all that, bro? Because that's a lot of responsibility. and
I,
especially with the entertainment business, because you're responsible for other people's
exactly.
careers. So yeah, how do you balance all that mentally and have time for you?
I mean, honestly, man, it's gonna sound cliche, but it's easier than it sounds. I mean, really, it's
Hmm.
just like prioritizing things. So, for instance,
Okay.
a small example, like we had a show. I mean, with the life coaching, I'm always doing that. That's kind of just ingrained in me. So I'm always like life coaching my team and stuff like that. And you kind of
Hmm.
just do priorities, make stuff make sense, and then delegate a lot too. Like my one of my artists right now, shout out to Nettie. We did our video, so we did a video, but we still working in the studio and stuff like that. So I got singles we pushing. So I'm like, hey, we gonna push the video. We're gonna follow up, get a little breathing room, follow with the single,
Hmm.
and then we're gonna do a one mic,
Right.
and then follow up from there. And then down the line, we're gonna do the album. But I'm already in 2026 with the stuff that I'm doing. I have other
Hmm.
artists that I'm working with. So with that, is like I said, it's a bit easier. All right, we got
Hmm.
this show. We're gonna have everybody going here. If this artist handlining, I'm networking for this artist, and vice versa. Like I have a R&B
Okay.
artist that I'm working with right now. Some R&B stuff came up. So when you're kind of ingrained in the stuff and like in the mix per se, stuff will just come to you. And be like, hey man, I got this show. I thought your artist would be cool with it. Hey, I got this coming up, or clothing brands reach out, all types of stuff. So people kind of rock with you once you kind of get your footing. But it's a bit easy, man. And then give yourself grace and time, and then just set realistic goals. Like I write down everything the night before, and then kind of do a checklist in the morning, so make it easier for me. And then I don't stress
Hmm.
myself out if I didn't get to the total list. I just kind of add it for the next day. But I'm intentional with getting to the list each day. I even set an
Right.
alarm to, a checklist, stuff like that. And then, give yourself grace, but be diligent as well. Because a lot of times we give ourselves so much grace, it'll be 6 months and you still ain't did the thing you're supposed to do.
True.
So I'm
That
cool
that
with grace,
that
but get to it.
yeah, you that's procrastination.
Absolutely.
When you step beyond that, yeah, for sure. That's like 5 steps ahead of grace. But in in time prioritizing. A lot of people say they don't have time to this, they don't have time for this, they don't have time to do this. Now, for everything that you just explained and the way you broke it down, because you basically saying your time prioritizing is to a T where it fits everything: family, children, work, 9 to 5, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Can you briefly explain to the masses how you began that type of time prioritizing? Because I always starts from a thought. But how did you like? You know what I'm saying? Was it over years? Or was it quick? However that goes.
So, me, I have a different kind of philosophy. So, you'll hear people all the time, like, just focus on this one thing, you'll be good at it, right? We hear that all the time.
Hmm.
So,
Right.
but anybody that had a regular 9 to 5, it's rare that you have a 9 to 5 where you have one dedicated thing. Like, I've been in sales and stuff like all my life. So, it'd be like, uh, they want you to sell this, add this, upsell, do this, do that. Even if you doing like labor or maintenance or something like that, it's never just the one thing. So it's the same thing. You just have to
Hmm.
do that for yourself and do entrepreneurship. Like, yes, your main goal is this, but you still have these other things that you need to do. Like I said, with any job, you have the main focus is let's use retail. The main thing is to sell the
Right.
thing, but you also have metrics you need to hit. How many door swings you get?
Right.
How many customers come in? You need to greet the customer. You need to have uh, good scores with your Google review. Whatever the thing is, you have to have 10 different things. So my
Hmm.
thinking is, if somebody tell me, hey, you need to do these things to keep your job, keep your employment, whatever, 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 I can't use that same energy for myself.
No,
They
yeah,
can,
exactly. You can.
yeah, they come in, they will come in. It'll be a policy drop. Hey, we're not doing this no more. We're doing this. Cool. You can use McDonald's. All right, cool. We're not selling the McChicken. We're selling this now, and everybody just fall in line.
Hmm.
Nobody really complain. They just start adjusting. They
Start
pivot.
buying whatever. Yeah.
Right. So we can do the same thing on our own. and then you just have to make this stuff make sense. Well, mine, all my businesses kind of work in harmony. Like I said, even with the podcast, when I'm out and networking and stuff like that, I
Mm-hmm.
block times out. So if I was doing like a traditional 9 to 5, I structure my day like that. Okay, I'm doing a couple hours of this, take a break, a couple hours of this, take a break, and then I prioritize. And then I list, okay, well, my artist has this coming out, the podcast doing this. And then I'm also working on a script that's kind of some back end stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. I
Mm-hmm.
got maybe an hour to myself to write. Cool, knock that out. Also got daddy
Right.
time, husband time, family time, da 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 da. And believe it or not, man, when you write this stuff out and you check that list off, you know that same dopamine you would be getting sitting on the screen or TV or playing a game, it hit the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dang, I got this done. I knocked the laundry out. I talked to the wife. I went to the kids' school. I networked. I did this. I da da da. Like, it make you feel good. Just today, bro. Like, I knew I was doing this podcast. I posted about that all morning. I got a show the
Right.
26th, one next month. I posted about all that when I first got up this morning. I posted about my son's birthday. Went to brunch
Mm-hmm.
with him. Went to the amusement park. Played, ate, did all this other stuff. And then I know I had
Right.
a pocket of time where I had to do the podcast or the show rather.
Right.
And I feel great. I had a full day. Everybody happy. Everybody cool. Son enjoyed his birthday. Everybody happy.
That's what's up. Now that's some
Yeah, man.
positive shit to tell the world, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Man, salute to you, bro. No, for real, because technically it's how you look at it. And I agree with you, it's how you perceive it, because technically that's what time is. Time is the perception of what you perceive at that
Exactly.
moment, second, whatever, however, hour, et cetera, et cetera. Totally agree with you on that. How is it and how has it been running an entertainment business?
I mean, it has its highs and lows. I mean, the caveat to that is with me being a life coach, you care about everybody. So people
Okay.
see that and then they try to,
Come in and take advantage
whatever.
of it.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff they feel like they're getting off. I consider it community service. You feel like you got over or whatever, or bro, 99% of people I've ever worked with always come back. If they feel
Gotcha.
like they got over or whatever. I mean, because like the emotion is still going, regardless if you feel like you got off or did whatever it did something. People, hey man, hey bro, I was just tapping in. I don't be rude or nothing. I'm just moving over here. Hey man,
Right.
I hope you win it. Over there, but I'm cool.
Right. Gotcha.
But yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Anything new on the horizon outside of what you just explained?
Uh, like I said, my one artist we got tour coming out, so we'll be in Texas next month. Uh, what's St. Louis, end of July.
Okay.
Um, Atlanta, I don't have the dates for that. New York in October sometime. Dropping the video, we have an EP out, dropping the video, followed up with a single, and then we probably gonna drop the actual album first quarter. The other two artists that I'm working with, I'm still working on their projects. One got an EP coming out. One has a single
Mm-hmm.
that we're working on, just trying to get the sound and stuff situated.
Right.
Just finding her niche and image and marketing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a bunch of shows coming up. I'm doing a panel on the 26th. I'm doing that. And then the following Thursday, I'm doing another event. And just working, bro. Just working, staying out the way, supporting everybody. I have the men's meeting I have every month. Shout out to Book. I'll do that with
Okay.
him. Kind of support that. I got some other stuff I'm kind of working on. I got that
Mm-hmm.
going. Like I say, the script stuff, I'm kind of playing around with that. I'm working
Right.
on a package for some artists. I can't really get details yet because I still got people I'm negotiating with. But I'm trying to do something nice
Mm-hmm.
for the artists. We got a bunch of shows and stuff, but
Right.
I don't feel like they kind of really the stuff that people ask me about and the shows are different. So I'm trying to put something
Okay.
together in that perspective. Whether it's just
Gotcha.
some counseling or help or one-on-ones or whatever it is, because they see how, and not that we're doing everything right, but they see how I'm moving and how the company moving, my artists moving, stuff like that, and they like, hey, what are you guys doing to this? So I try to team up with people, but a lot of people feel like they
Mm-hmm.
know everything, so it is what it is.
Right. Got you. No, look, hey, network make the check work all day long. As long as you
Okay,
networking with the right people. For sure, for
absolutely.
sure. Ain't no doubt about that one. Is you stopping in tomorrow at Dice's Father's Day event? You know, where you got the pop up businesses and stuff. I
I
think
wanted to,
somewhere on
man.
the west side tomorrow.
I was told by my offsprings I was unavailable for anything
Oh,
outside
okay.
of what they had planned. So
Okay, okay. That's what's up. Got you, got
yeah,
you. So in the aspect of spiritual understanding, what would you tell the up and coming artist, producer, or just all around average Joe that's trying to make it in life, man? What spiritual advice would you give?
I mean, again, it's gonna sound cliche, man, but keep God first, and then me. Like I'm getting more into it. I used to do it quite a bit, and I kind of fell off, kind of running my own race. But praying about everything too, man. Before whether it's a deal, whether it's who you're negotiating with,
Mm-hmm.
you networking with, something like that. You know, just pray about it before. You know, whoever your higher power is. Hey, you know, hey God, guide my steps. You know, give me some understanding. You know, is this the right person for me? You know, things like that. Because a lot of times we
Right.
want to pray for the situation and not to have the understanding to get through the situation. You know, somebody can
Mm.
drop $1 million in front of you, and you don't even pray for the understanding of how to properly use, said $1 million.
Exactly.
So that's kind of where
I
I think we
totally
need to
agree
kind
with
of
that.
be at. You know, it's like, oh God, change my financial situation. I mean, if you do what you got to do, this stuff don't kind of work out. You know, so you want to know what would you do with, if things do work out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree. I agree that people pray per se or meditate about the wrong in the wrong way, not about the wrong things, but in the wrong manner. You know what I'm saying? Because
No, for sure.
if it's if a higher power that we look to that is all knowing and all seeing, then that higher power already knows what the struggles that we're going through.
Right.
So to sit there and say, "Oh, Lord, please, this, and the third," no, ask for the wisdom to get through the situation. I
Yeah,
totally agree
absolutely.
with you on that.
Yeah, and
Nah,
prepare me for, what's to come.
right, exactly. I totally agree with you on that one. As far as the life coaching, is there somewhere an individual can come? You have a website. Where can they find you? As far as on that.
Uh, Honestly, a lot of my clients and stuff, they kind of just tapped in with me already. And people literally just reach out, they inbox me, DM me, whatever. I don't have a site or anything like that. I have an office that I use for an entertainment company, but I'm
Hmm.
transitioning because me and the wife are about to start a business. So
Okay.
it's gonna be called Doc and Coach. So you can get uh, some psychology, whatever you need, some counseling, some therapy, some coaching. So we're
Hmm.
trying to just encompass everything in one. So I'm working on that too. So that's what we're trying to put together.
Okay.
Doing some free
Okay.
stuff, some webinar. We're just trying to get all the schematics kind of figured out how it would kind of work.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
We
but
finna run
that's
into a
definitely
commercial break.
yeah.
Oh, my bad, bro.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, we finna run into a commercial break real quick. Then we go come back with the young king, life coach Mitch, and chop it up about some more endeavors and things that the brother got going on. We thank you for tuning in to Just a Conversation. Y'all, stay tuned for this hot underground music. Peace.
Classy. Tangy, where you going? Man, don't be asking me all them questions. You did this.
You did it, you did it, you did it, you did it, boy, you did it, you did it, you did it, deal with it. It's all part of the game until the rabbit got the gun. Now you're crying on the floor while I go out and have my fun. Boy, you did it, you did it, deal with it, deal with it, boy, you did it, you did it, deal with it, deal with it. See, the problem is, you play your queen like she's a rook. Take up space, take advantage, disrespect her, how that look? She hold it down, she lift you up, but she read you like a book. And you play her for a fool like she somehow misunderstood. You know she got it right though, she know you out at night though. Say you out here grinding, but you sipping for some weak hoe. Phone on D&D while you at the B&B. Balls deep in the mindless trick who don't care about your dream. She feel good for the moment, yeah, but what about tomorrow? How about when your pocket's light? Can you call that hoe and borrow? How about when the shit go left? Can she save you from that sorrow? Will she hesitate or will she pick that blick up in your honor? Whole package at home, you out here chasing dust. You clutching on your chest when she go and level up. Cause she's tired of your shit and she know you not legit. Tried to play her for a fool and now you losing. Ain't that rich? Boy, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it, boy, you did it, you did it, you did it, deal with it. It's all part of the game until the rabbit got the gun. Now you're crying on the floor while I go out and have my fun. Boy, you did it, you did it, deal with it, deal with it, boy, you did it, you did it, deal with it, deal with it.
I ain't did shit, I'm out here having it. Your ass out here on that rat shit. Why I keep proving that I'm out here stacking shit? What you don't like this money I'm getting? Through the city, dipping, play after play, flip after flip. I don't even see why you trip. I ain't got time for no hoes. Nah, the work and the hustle shit. You should know how it go. Business first, what the fuck I'm on, and I come home when I finish. Why you thinking about some bitches? I'm out here thinking about some dishes. Low key, some work counting the cut, setting up a route for us to get out. So if I decide to bounce, what you gonna do? You need to get with it. Cause ain't the nigga that got to deal with it. Shit, I'm out here on a mission, bitch, you trippin'.
You did it, you did it, deal with it, deal with it, boy, you did it, you did it, deal with it, deal with it.
Divine Family with the God Dollar TVE. Y'all know this is a classic. Go medal to the queens that be doing they thing. Go medal to the kings that be making it ring. Go medal to the C's that be staying in school. Preparing for a future, never breaking the rules. Go medal to the peoples that stay having great souls. Cause the struggle be so serious, it never gets old. Go medal to Arrested, that's development, dawg. Go medal to Oasis, that's development, dawg. Go medal to the Most High, that's our energy source. Having faith in yourself, keep your conscience on course. Divine fam on track, and we back with a hit. Got the God TBE, and we keep it legit. Gotta stay up on knowledge, cause these preachers be lying. Gotta watch out for cops, cause the people be dying. Prosecutors stay tripping like the ego without. While the president sniffing, taking trips to the south. Conspiracies be brimming, what's the theory of truth? Was Pac a reptilian misleading to you? Was Future just a dealer telling nothing but lies? Is Rick Ross just a Mason getting gripped by the thighs? How many more distractions do we all gotta see? When our babies out here missing in these cool city streets. Cause the racist little cops wanna sit on their feet. Then they wanna act like moving when the news brings some heat. Go medal to the queens that be doing they thing. Go medal to the kings that be making it ring. Go medal to the C's that be staying in school. Preparing for your future, never breaking the rules. Go medal to the people that stay having great souls. Cause the struggle be so serious, it never gets told. Go medal to Arrested, that's development, dawg. Go medal to Oasis, that's development, dawg.
Some people dance with the devil just to get this gold medal. We the leaders of the hood, no need to keep the pole. Tell it the government creeping, dog. We done ruled out the measurement. They want wanna get me stoned, cause they know that I'm heaven sent. In the middle of the war, I'm sleeping good in the back of the Benz. Custom shade lens, working hard, I can't see my friends. Traded on the fellas for a couple M's. All white whip spin from the back, call it Eminem. The jewel's too heavy, I'm lifting weight. I don't recommend to ever stop going in. I'm going in, super big safe, all this money that I'm putting in. Trying to fuck this road for your soul, you won't never win. You gotta know your Bible, cause yeah, this real life, dog. Spiritual battles is killing people like some cattle. Oh yeah, I'm an animal every day of the calendar. Go metal to my hood, dog, I'm proud of her.
Go metal to the queens that be doing their thing. Go metal to the kings that be making it rain. Go metal to the C's that be staying in school. Preparing for a future, never breaking the rules. Go metal to the peoples that she having great souls. Go to struggle, be so serious, it never gets old. Go metal to arrested, that's development, dog. Go metal to Oasis, that's development, dog.
Man, salute. Welcome back to Just a Conversation. And we back on deck with the young king out of Detroit. Life coach Mitch
What's
in
going
the
down? What's going down?
building. And once again, happy Pappy Day to all the kings out there. I know it's Saturday, so it's tomorrow. We already know it's still happy weekend. You understand?
Absolutely.
You got that responsibility. You handling your business. Salute to you. What's up? Life coach Mitch. What you got to teach us today, King?
Oh man, we can do some life coaching stuff. We can do some entertainment stuff. We can get to it, man. Like, just pick a lane and I'll drive the car.
Okay, well let's talk that life coach stuff then, man. Because I'm always down for some spiritual uplifting.
Yeah. With me, man, like I say, the biggest thing with me, like I love life coaching. Like I love helping, and I love helping the fellas. I love helping the kids. I don't even know which one I like more, but it's no better feeling, man, to be in a position to impact somebody's life. I see people I've tutored and mentored and stuff down the line, like, hey, man, I graduated. And man, me and my mom talking again, or, whatever it is. I passed this grade. I did this. I'm doing sports now. I'm whatever, stuff like that. Like, I love to be impactful, or just the people, they really sleep on like the silent leaders and the silent coaching. The stuff that you're just doing every day and somebody watching you.
Yeah.
I see how you,
You're right.
Do this with your wife. I saw you do this with your son, man. You talk to your mother like this or something like that. I think that's something that people kind of need to be hyper aware of. Like with me, like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't cuss, I don't do none of that. But, I mean, my kids, and even if they do outside or wherever, they still know to kind of turn it off and on, when they home or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they still keep that respect versus I ain't turning up. My son turned 20. I ain't turning up with him or we about to go. Like, nah. I'm still dad. I'm not the friend,
Exactly. And not your friend. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I ain't your buddy. Like, we'll hang and, we'll do father-son stuff, but this ain't my boy,
Right. No, I totally agree. And that's good because it's a lot of new generation parents that don't understand that.
Yeah.
Or they smother. Yeah, they smother their child so much to the point where when the child gets to puberty, a teenage, they ready to rebel, bust out the shell,
Exactly.
kick the church door open,
Excuse
all,
me. Mhm.
bless you, all that because they done been sheltered and cocooned, majority of their life and things of this nature. So I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and
The
oh, go ahead.
No, I wanted to quickly touch on something because when you were
Go
speaking
for it.
about your development as a life coach, you said you can't help someone out of a situation unless you've been through it yourself. That's basically what you were saying, right?
I wouldn't say that I've necessarily been through it, but I'm aware of it. For instance,
Okay.
like if I'm not okay with looking in the mirror, it's hard for me to tell somebody else they need to look in the mirror, or they need, whatever they vice or issue
Hmm.
is drinking,
Right.
sex, gaming, whatever it is, you need to be able to understand that thing. It don't necessarily have to be, your addiction may be sugar, mine may be hookers, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, you still need to
Right. Yeah.
understand that behavior. Like, hey, I've
It's
been on this
because
road, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that.
right.
And I mean, that's not a particular requirement, but it helps. You know what I'm saying? So things like that,
Gotcha.
and they help you empathize with the people. Hey man, I've been through this, this, this. These are handled this, this, this. There's a lot of people like they
Hmm.
think they have forgotten cause, or excuse me, they think nobody never been through anything like that, or what I mean, whatever the circumstances. And when you can meet people
Right.
at their level or even lower, I mean, that kind of let their guard down, they kind of open up, start talking to you, and then you can go
Of course.
the proper channels, or even
Yeah.
have the understanding and know that you may not know a particular thing. Because there's been a few situations where, okay, this may be something I could probably, I'll send people to my mother, I'll send people to my wife.
Mm.
Like this may be a, more of a counseling question or a therapy situation than a life coaching thing. You know what I'm
Gotcha. Right.
saying? So,
Understood.
yeah,
And when you said that, it also brought me to mind because I agree with you. I'm in the same mentality. Unless you have some type of experience, whether it's directly or indirectly, you cannot, you know what I'm saying, advise and or teach unless you've been through that lesson or that school of thought. So with
yeah,
the
absolutely.
Messiah, when he was going through these Egyptian lessons uh, during his from 12 to 18, he ran into a master sage named Atheno who taught him the same thing about suffering. And if he was here to help humanity in dealing with the suffering that they were going through, then he had to himself go through it.
Right.
So he went through, the proper steps and spiritual lessons within this school of thought. And then once he mastered that, then he was able to come out, heal, teach, et cetera, like you do.
Gotcha.
And what people don't realize nowadays is that we have the ability to do these things, like you said, within a blink of an eye. All we have to do is do it. You see, and when I say that, I'm giving an example. I was in McDonald's, coming out of McDonald's. Brother say, man, you got a few dollars, man. Matter of fact, man, can you just give me a meal? I said, come on, bro, I got you. Went in, got him a meal. What you want? He got what he wanted. Told him have a nice day. This is an example of action behind faith, as well as doing, instead of just saying, yeah, you can do this, you can do this, because you got a lot of people who advertise these type of things, but not
Yeah.
necessarily do them themselves.
Yeah. If I say I'm hungry, I want to hear no speech. I want some food.
Come on.
Yeah, if you did this, man, like God gonna bless. No, I am hungry,
No.
sir.
Right. Now we can talk about that while I'm eating,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But no, yeah, bro. I told you, I'm in agreement with that, man. It all starts with self, and that's the first and foremost. The thing about that is a lot of people don't like to look at self. You
Yeah,
see,
man.
because you got to look at them demons, you got to look at them angels, and the whole thing is we are here to conquer our vices.
Yeah,
You see
self
what I'm
required work,
saying?
and
It
why
do,
would I do the work when I can tell you what you need to do? You know,
but
but when I
that's not giving a proper lesson because
I
you could
agree,
tell
but
you could sit in front of somebody and you could tell whether they're sincere or not about what they telling.
no, absolutely.
And this is, and I think, especially with Asiatic people, why we don't be running to the psychologists all the time because we gonna sit there and be like, okay, after the first 5 minutes, hey, you know what, man, I got something to do. I'm out of here because we know they're not sincere about what they're telling us. They have no true care and concern about our mental welfare. They're there for a check and or write you out a script so Big Pharma can get money. And that's just how I look at Western psychology.
So
And
with
it's
that,
not good. It's not, go ahead, King. It's
no, no.
not,
So
I'm just saying that's not good for Asiatics.
I agree. I will say there are circumstances. Like I said, my wife is a psychologist, and I'm just not saying because it's her. So I give a prime example.
Mm-hmm.
One of her clients is having a health issue, and obviously can't
Okay.
disclose everything with me, but she kind of just and she's
Mm-hmm.
genuinely hurt behind that. You know what I'm saying? Now I know other psychologists. They, CTC cut the check. All right, let me bang through these people and keep it moving. It's not always
Right.
going to be somebody that genuinely care. They make calls. Hey, how can I help this person? What's going on with this person? Like, well, when I say my wife is like booked and busy, I mean they hit her up like, hey, I just passed this. Hey, I'm about to do this. Like I mean, yes, she's getting paid and stuff like that's her career, but they genuinely almost like can't function without
They
her, which
know
is a great
she
thing.
genuinely,
Yeah, they
right.
know
They
she
know she
actually can.
genuinely cares.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they'll she'd be like, oh, how's the baby, or what's going on with this, or what I'm saying, like she's invested in their well being. She's
Mm-hmm.
highly recommended and stuff like that. And again, it sounds like fluff because it's my wife, but I mean the numbers are the numbers. And then two, it's not a
Right.
lot of us for one in that profession, and then two, it's not a lot of black women in that profession. So when you get somebody
True.
that look like you, sound like you, one got dreads, tattoos, like the whole spiel. So when you get somebody that
Mm-hmm.
look like you, sound like you, things like that, and then they have the degrees and schooling behind it, I mean, it makes it a bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus somebody like,
No.
well, you should try this, or you should just do this. Like the stuff that I hear that other people have told them prior to meeting her is crazy. Well,
Mm-hmm.
my conscience told me this. My therapist just said this. Like, they don't have a care in the world, like you said. But I
Right.
wouldn't just sign off on them as a whole. But I do think it need to be some fine tuning for sure.
Okay. Okay. I agree with that because a mad salute to Dr. Serena Jackson. She's a Asiatic psychologist. She be on Fox 2 a lot
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
with her mental health awareness for women and men and stuff like that. So I agree, bro. You're right. If there were more Asiatic psychologists and we knew that they, were genuine and we probably would be more willing to take our children and even ourselves, you know what I'm saying, to see the doctor, once
Well,
a month, however necessary.
'cause
It's
even with
the
that, like
fear
it's the fear of the work. Like I'm gonna actually have to look at myself like, oh, you might be the problem.
that too.
Oh, I shouldn't have kept him or her around. Oh, I am being toxic. Oh,
Mm,
I should. Because think about it, like if you have to do the work, you have to change like your lifestyle. You have to change you, the people you hang with.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
my best friend.
exactly.
She this, but she a manipulator, toxic, do drugs, whatever. And you hang with her because
Mm,
it's easy. Same thing with your homeboys. You a married man, you hang with all your single homeboys that want to go out, hit the club, do whatever, and all this other stuff. Not saying you can't be cool with them, but you have to disassociate yourself because you trying to be,
in some way, form, or fashion.
yeah, you're trying to be at home with the wife doing Cupcake Tuesday, and they talking about where the breeze is
Right,
at. Like that don't
right. They
one plus
don't
one
mix.
ain't seven.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Like,
Yeah, I got you.
but yeah, but when you start doing that self awareness and start doing the homework, then you have to look at things. Well,
Right.
I had one client asking me, they was talking about they didn't get a raise or a promotion. I'm sorry, and we kind of just broke down the work, and they was like, "Yeah, I do this, I do
Okay.
this." Like you do that when you feel like it. The person that got the raise, they coming in early, leaving late. They ain't got excuses. They ain't coming back from lunch late. All that stuff they looking at. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
just talk to the supervisor and just have a candid conversation. What are some things that I need to do? What are you guys looking for? How do you view me so far? Stuff like that. Am I leadership material? What are things you looking for in the leader? Things like that. I was like, ask them to break it down for
Mm,
you so you can work on it, it makes it go around for promotions. And they
right.
did. And she was like, man, they said this and they said this. It was all valid stuff. Were you coming in late? Yeah, but they know my baby had to be at school. That's a you problem. That's not a them problem. Like,
Right.
yeah, but I mean, like she was like, yeah, they
Right.
know my
Like.
baby got to be at school. It was just crazy. Like she was like going nuclear, bro. You know,
Right.
uh, it was something with uh, she was late coming in, late on lunches, and I'll be tracking that stuff. But then you said the girl that put her timer on when she went on break was weird.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
she the one that got the promotion. You know what I'm saying?
She the one that got the right. Exactly.
Exactly. But I
No.
mean, she
I.
she came around after some more sessions. She came around. Even with
Mm,
that, she had an attitude like, I mean, you might have been right or whatever. I was like, all right. I mean, it's progress. You know.
it,
But
yeah. But
yeah,
that ego,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah,
That ego is so hard to get rid of unless you really seriously want to.
yeah. Again, it's about wanting to do the work. Like a lot of us want the change without the work. Like
Yeah, that ain't finna happen.
we want to be in great health, but we don't want to stop eating McDonald's or eating fried foods or salt or
Right.
pop and chips and
No,
all this
I
other stuff.
agree.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want this, but we don't want to do that. And that's why people
Yep.
have issues with working out, with eating right, with dieting, with therapy, with church, or whatever your faith is. They don't do this. Like everything not gonna be in this perfect box that you want it to be. No, I don't. They said I can't wear this, so I ain't going. Like, so
Now,
you gonna give up
do you
your
agree that
title?
society has us like that?
I I think it's all. Me personally, I think everything starts at home. I mean, from 9 and them on down. So
Mm-hmm.
think about it. You are your kid's first impression. Just think about when the kids are little, they mimicking you, they doing what you do. My son 4, he putting on my shoes and hat, all this type of stuff. So
True
you're their
that.
first, guideline of defense, from everything. The world, in the home, outside the home, everything. So if they see me treating their mother poorly, talking to this person crazy, doing whatever, cussing, whatever the thing that
Right.
I'm doing, like I'm a direct influence, whether it be good or bad. So
No, I agree.
yeah,
I agree with that. Now,
yeah.
what if that influence was society written?
So I mean, it's the same thing to me. Like,
Okay.
you sending your kids out here, to only thing you do is govern your household, right? So, check in with them, small things. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. But like I check in with my sons and stuff like that. Hey, what's going on? What about this? What's going on with that? A lot of us expect, unfortunately, for the church to raise our kids, our auntie and grandma and them to raise our kids, the school to raise our kids. Like half of us
Mm-hmm.
don't even know how to get on the dojo for the kids, or what they studying, or what they doing, or who their friends are. I'm about to go
Right.
over Larry's house. Who is Larry? Oh, that's my homeboy. All right, I got your location, and that be the extent of the parenting. Who gonna be
Right.
there? Who's Larry mama? Like,
Right.
what's up with her? Like, they gonna drink and smoke? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it could be a whole
Right.
orgy over there. You don't know. But we get so lackadaisy. But then we thought our parents or grandparents were too strict. They knew everybody. Everybody knew your parents. Like, they even like socialized. Okay, I know Miss
Mm-hmm.
Johnson go to work, so I know, this. Everybody knew everybody about, whatever. But
Yeah.
then these newer parents will go on in the South, stay in the South. I don't want you talking to so and so, or you discipline the kid. I'm not saying you hit them or nothing like that, but just you checking the kid or
I know what
bringing the
you're saying.
awareness. And they like, ain't nobody finna be talking to my baby like that. You going up to your school with the bonnet on, or the dad going up there ready to fight everybody. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? And then
Exactly.
you wonder why your son shooting people at 16, getting life, or he don't have emotional regulation or
Right.
situational awareness. And somebody stepped in his J's and now he didn't punch somebody.
Right.
Or your daughter got daddy issues, so she humping on everybody in school. Just craziness, man. But again, that started at home. Like, your kid shouldn't be scared to talk to you about sex. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but that should be something your kid should be okay with talking to you about.
Mm-hmm.
Not dad, I'm busting it out, but like, hey, I'm having feelings. What? Like, these kids
It's a
learning
way
everything
to
in the
talk.
street. Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
us as a culture, we shut everything off. Like, we figure if it's out of sight, out of mind. Like, that's crazy. Think about
See,
it.
and this
Like,
is
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
that's what I was about to say.
So that
As
that
far
too.
as the parents doing the same thing that they seen their parents, and then they seen their parents. It's like the Willa Boston commercial, and she told her friend, and her friend told her friend, and now here come the domino effect of, okay, this is what I mean about psychological slavery. The fact that it keeps continuing on and it doesn't stop because it's not a generational curse, it's a generational laziness
So,
because one
oh, go ahead.
generation don't want to stop an action. Just like we were talking about abuse in the house. If your son see you misusing his mother, then he go grow up thinking it's all right to misuse his girl, and that child he has by that girl go think it's all right, and it's gonna be a domino effect all the way down the generations. But that's laziness because that shouldn't have been taught in the first place in that household. You see what
I,
I'm saying?
no, I agree with that. And to answer the question, as far as with that, like, somebody has to take some accountability. And what happens is, like you said,
Exactly.
is Big Mama, not, whomever. But
Hmm.
if they don't know, they don't know. Like our grandmothers didn't work, and granddad was at the plant somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just
Yeah.
how things went. It was one income. She
Right.
made sure everybody was cool, get homework, whatever. Granddad, as long as he could read the paper, get his beer, and even if he didn't want to go
Hmm.
to church, he went to church on Sundays and sat there and was still until the game come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was
Right.
life. So what happens is, I mean, it's a bunch that go with that. So that generation gone. Then what happened? The new generation, our grandparents halfway did what they're supposed to do. So our generation now we got Big Mama house, and now we're trying to flip it and doing all this extra stuff instead of keeping it in the home. We blowing the money and doing whatever, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But
Right.
what happens is they left us with material stuff, but they didn't leave us with certain knowledge. Like, why are people still right now passing without life insurance? Because you don't want to have a conversation of burial arrangements
Somebody
and stuff
died.
like that. Like,
Right.
no, we need to handle this. Like, okay, well, if you pass, we need to make sure this. You pass and they're leaving us with a bill is crazy.
Hmm.
Like, those are the type of conversations we need to have. The sex conversations, the church. If you don't want to go, you don't want to go. I can't make you, but me making you go, and then like you said, you get older, then you resent going.
Right.
Me making you go to school.
But
Okay,
I
is
think
homeschooling an option? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
but no, I'm sorry. No, you're on a good topic, but just to be so, uh, we talk about this on my show all the time. We talk about
Okay.
things like this, but when I talk about it, we have to quit. One thing we have to do is generalizing this. We have to stop generalizing. We have to stop saying everybody is going to see it from the same point of view, right? Because everybody learns different. What I mean by that is like what you said, if like what you were just saying that have the conversations, but you have to know when to have it. I got 4 boys, so all my boys didn't come into that girl. Uh, I want to be with a girl. I like girls now at the same time.
Right.
So as they started to grow, you start to figure out what it is, right? So I would have conversation. The conversation I had with my older one, I didn't have to have with my younger ones because they saw me talk. They saw what my oldest ones was doing, opening doors for girls, doing this, making sure to lay down the foundation. From there, you don't have to teach as much as like what you said. So we have
You working up a bit, boss.
uh,
I'm getting like some feedback. I really can't hear the last part.
no, I was saying at the end of the day, you don't have to once you teach it and it goes from our kids can basically kind of what I'm trying to say is our kids will basically take what we teach them, right? And they will kind of grow with it. But you're always going to have that one that goes the opposite direction, and you can't plan for that. They're going to go the
True.
other route. I'll give you an example. Me and my brother, we saw my mom get beat by my sister's dad. One day we beat him up. He left, never came back. We grew up. I have never touched a woman a day in my life, but if I talk to my brother's girlfriends, baby mamas, they tell us about all this abuse. And I'm like, how dare you when you saw what our mom went through, but like somebody taught me, we see it differently. So that's why our culture is changing to me is because what I did to my kids worked. I whooped them. I took away things. I didn't spoil them right, like you said before, Mr. Mitch. I'm my kids right now. My oldest is 30, about to be 31 in August, and I'm telling him we still not friends. I'm still your
Right.
dad. I can hang out with you, but we're not friends. I'm not calling
Absolutely.
you to
Right.
gossip about what your life is about. Like we're not friends. Yes, I want to know that you're okay, but I'm not your homeboy. And I think that's where now in this generation we are losing men because moms are creating that best friend scenario.
No, I
And
agree
it's
with that for sure.
feminizing them. Yeah. And it's feminizing the men. Well, the boys.
It sounds
And
like some
it's making
feedback. My bad, y'all.
no, you're fine. It's wind coming on your side, which I'm seeing it go up and down. I guess the wind is moving or something.
Oh,
'Cause I
yo,
can hear it.
that might be my ceiling fan. Hold on.
Okay, because I'm like, it's either your side or Mitch's. But Mitch, everything you've been saying throughout the whole show, I've been listening to, and I'm like, yeah, we can talk about that. I'm not a life coach, but I'm a business coach, and a lot of times I have to go into the life coaching phase to get them out of a mindset that they have because in our culture we've been taught to worship money. We've been taught to we throw our own family out and put them on the street compared to other cultures because they can't pay us a certain thing or we think they're living off us for free. Yeah, if somebody's mooching off of you and living on the couch and not doing nothing ambitious wise, yeah, you got to go. But if I see
Yeah.
you working hard and putting in the work, same way I do with this radio station. Everybody on the station, nobody pays. This is a free station for you to join. But if I don't see you putting in the work with the opportunity that was given, then of course I'm gonna be like, hey, either you pay or you gotta go, because now you're wasting my time, right? That's how that
Absolutely.
we have to get to that mentality in our own culture. Like I want to help,
Right.
want to give you, but if you're not ambitious enough to see the opportunity in front of you, then I gotta let you go as well.
I
And
agree
we
with
have
that.
to learn to push those stragglers to the side in our own culture. And that, yes, it starts with a conversation, but it also starts with action too. We have to take those that we see, in my opinion, we have to take those that we see that are working hard, trying to do the best they can. Yeah, they may be taking hiccups or not, and help them. But those that we see that are, and the crazy part is we see those winning that aren't really doing. They're not really doing nothing, but they're the most famous. Everybody likes them. They're. I got brothers like that they don't do shit for a living, just live off a girl. But everybody
They built
loves
the
them to death.
persona.
Right.
Yeah, they built the
Everybody,
persona.
everybody loves them to life. We need to push those people out because those are the people that's keeping that narrative you guys are talking about on this higher scale.
Hmm.
That's accountability. So
Exactly.
what you're saying, I agree with for sure. Me personally, what I do, so the people that I know that we can help, I kind of encourage them, be there for them, do what I can do. And then the people that I can't have that conversation with, I leave from afar. Like I'll lead by example. I'm hands off. Hey, do your thing, stay over there, be blessed. But as far as the people that I kind of pull into what I got going, I'll do what I can. And like you said, with those conversations, like you have to have them. Sometimes you have to lead from the front. Sometimes you have to lead from the back, which both are okay. And for me, I notice like when I do a thing, people kind of fall in line. So I'll give an example with like how I raise my sons. So people always ask me, well, how you do this or how you do that? Or, even with my daughter, they like, well, how you do this? How you do that? I'm like, dude, just be intentional with being the best version of yourself. So I look at it like this is, and again, no knock to anybody, smoke, drink, do whatever you're going to do. But me personally, am I willing to risk my son being an alcoholic because, something like that can be hereditary? I've never I never got into liquor just because I was an athlete all my life, so I kind of missed the time frame to, what I'm saying, to get, the teenagers to get
Yeah.
messed up or
Yeah,
whatever.
to get high, get
Yeah,
drunk,
yeah,
stuff. Right.
yeah. Because I did basketball, track, whatever. But just certain things, am I my wife get out of line? Am I going to give her some hands and then wonder why my son beat on his girl? No. So you just
Right.
have to make those kind of sacrifices and have that conversation, understanding. Like with my 20-year-old, like how you were saying with your oldest, you had a conversation with him, and then you really have to have it with your other son. Like I have a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old. So I had those conversations with my 20-year-old, and then now I have to segue a bit different with my 16-year-old. Same conversation, but kind of I tell my kids all the time, like I've been your age, you ain't never been mine.
And
So
that's
There
my
you go.
favorite line. Hey,
yeah,
that's my
Man,
favorite line.
what?
yeah, the stuff
They
you got,
don't
like, come
know
on, man.
yet.
Yeah,
Right.
same bad channel, same bad station, and they be like,
Right.
Dad, yo.
Been there, done
I'm
that.
like, yeah, just because it wasn't a
Hey,
cell phone, it made by the house phone or a beeper, but it was the same
one thing I
thing.
talk
Nah.
about more. That's one thing
Right.
I say all the time is like, you guys have never been my age. That's my favorite saying.
Hmm.
And that meaning that I've been 13 before, so I know what you're
Exactly.
going. I've
Right.
been
Like, come
12. I've been 16. So when you tell me that girl is just a friend, and I'm looking at the way she's looking at you and the way she's acting
yeah,
crazy over you, nah, bro, I know you having sex. Quit
Right.
playing.
yeah, it,
Come on.
I
Right.
tell
Come
guys
on,
all
sit
the
down and
time.
talk about it.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
I tell
the
dudes all the
audacity to
time.
them is crazy though. Like, I'm just so old, I don't understand what's happening. Like, come on, man. Like, really?
Right. Yeah, because
Like, come on,
we
man. Like,
we had that same audacity though.
Yeah,
yeah,
So
nothing
that's why it's
changes.
so funny. You're
Nothing
right.
changes. Nothing is different under the sun. I tell that to everybody. Like it's nothing different
Exactly.
under the sun. The only difference is that you are doing it now to where your parents were doing it then. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I tell my boys all the time because they're grown now. I have a 20. I have my youngest is 22. He plays for the Timberwolves. So I even have to talk to him because in his mind, that yeah, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, buck up, try me. Even to this age, I said, try me. I bet you won't try me. I don't care if I'm 90. I dare you. But
Right.
parents don't talk to their kids like that. I listen to parents all day with their boys telling them what to do. I wish you would in my house. And that's the biggest thing to me. I wish you would in my house.
Man,
man.
what? Exactly. Because
And
it's
that's where
unnecessary.
and that's kind of where we're losing our this generation of kids is because no parents are terrified of the police coming and taking their kids because the government has created this whole platform of I'll give you a prime example. Before I met my fiance, I dated a lady who I ended up.
Oh, congrats too, bro.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
No, I said congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting married in October. Yeah,
That's
in
what's up, man.
Dallas. But I was dating somebody, and I ended up like I went through a bad breakup, so I ended up moving in with this other girl. And when I went in with her, her son was there, and her son was like 17. Well, prior to me coming in, her son and her had got into it. She tased her son with a taser because he put his hands on
Jesus.
her. But here in
Oh
Vegas,
wow.
they took her to jail for doing that. So that
What?
put it in the son's mind that I could talk to you however, I could say whatever, I could do whatever. Well, I'm sitting here, and I'm trying not to
Right.
be mean, but I'm like, you're not gonna put your hands on your mom as long as I'm here. You yell at her. If she
Right.
don't stop you from doing that shit, because my mom would have picked up something, I'd have been cold knocked out. Fuck a taser.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she's sitting there. So what he did was he started jumping in my face like, you a bitch, you this. But I'm like, okay, you're 17. So now you trying to invoke me to put my hands on you so that I can go to
Right.
jail. So I waited. So he turned 18 June 12th. And they ended up going out of town, and I ended up cheating on the girl or whatever. I ended up talking to somebody out of Houston. I went to Houston to visit her. He came back and he told his mom because he had took my phone and got screenshots of the text message. So when I came in, before he could tell her, because he thought he was gonna call me out, before he could tell her, and then he gets mad because I told her, and it was like, "Fuck, mom, you're a bitch. What you gonna do now?" He done turned 18 now. This nigga spit on
Wow.
me. I must have whomped this nigga. He crying out for, "Mommy, you gonna let him do me like this?" She said, "You brought that on yourself because you could have just let us talk about it and we could have figured out what we was gonna do." But
What
you,
go do about it? Right.
he called for
Had to give him that
police.
baby boy treatment.
Hold on, he
Yeah,
calls.
I was just about to
Yeah,
say that.
he calls the police, and the police come and they take him to jail. Now he's calling her all hours of the night from jail, crying, "Mommy, I can't believe you let him take me." Hey, she said, "Hey, you're 18 years old. I told you. Me and Jason are adults. We either gonna work it out or we gonna go our separate ways." But you keep thinking you're an adult, so now you're in an adult place, and that's why I'm trying
Right.
to talk to moms about their boys. Like, you can't treat your boys like you treat your daughters because boys will take that and run with that. But not only on
Yeah.
you, but they will go to their girlfriends expecting them to do whatever they tell them to do. That's why we got more lazy men that sit on the couch and play PlayStation all day while their wives are at work.
And
As a
even
man,
that, man, getting to the mentality of you being comfortable talking to your mom like that. What
Hey
like
man, what?
when my son, my oldest son was in sports. Like I was the carpool dad,
don't put them on there.
so
I got the chicken on
I
there.
would see them talking to them,
I got that chicken
talking
on
to their
there.
moms like however. I'm like, yo, like what's happening? But they didn't have. I'm like, all these coaches here, all these other parents, ain't nobody saying that. Like, come on, man. And like they, the mentality changed because like my sons would check them. Like my 16-year-old is 6'5", my 20-year-old is 6'4", and they both play football and basketball, and they get down. But
Right.
they just know, they'll check their friends. I'm like, bro, like you was born a leader.
That's
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
good.
stand on
That's
that.
a
Yeah.
I'm like, you
Exactly.
can't be
mirror
you can't
5
be
foot.
fooled with nonsense. Then you look like a father.
Right.
But after that, they want to be around more. I would make sure they could come over, we could kick it and stuff like that, and just talking more and more. They just unpacking a lot of stuff. Man, my mom be having all these dudes over here, or she don't really be at home, or just stuff like that. But then you talk to
Right.
the women, and they don't want to be held accountable. Like if your son is actively saying like, "Hey, we don't spend time together," so when I see you, the only time I see you with this dude. So of course I'm gonna feel away. You make time for him, you gone every night, but I don't see you, and then you want me to, oh, you ain't cook dinner, you ain't clean, you ain't. No, I ain't do none of that. Because why? Why? I don't see you. So, but a lot of them were receptive to the information. Obviously, it's how you deliver it. But a lot of them was like
Right.
standing on business, like, nah, like I do this, I do that. That mama gotta have a life. I'm like, hey, you can't, undo who you had a kid with. But
Right.
even if you don't want the dad around, that's their business. I mean, at least have a positive male role model,
Influence around.
uncle,
Right.
a mentor. I mean, they got a million mentor programs. I mean, all types of stuff. Like you can figure out something, but you know, got guys in and out of here like double dutch. They, oh, this my friend so and so. This my friend so and so. And again, not saying a woman can't date. I mean, you can do what you want to do. You know, women are grown, but date with intent. Because when you don't, you just got these rotating people. Don't have them around your kid. Everybody should have access to your kid.
Around your kids, exactly.
Like my mother used to date.
Hey,
I ain't know what was going on. I would never see
You
nobody.
know,
I
back
mean,
in
I
the
knew she was.
that's what I was about to say. Back in the day, that
Yeah,
shit was not.
yeah. And
You
then
know.
like we didn't sit around our parents. I didn't want to know what's going on. They in there watching stories. I'm out. I don't want to know who kissing who. I don't want to know the
Oh
tea.
no,
I
you know,
don't care
our
nothing about none
parents
of that.
told us to get the hell out the house.
Exactly. But
I
then as
tell
a
the
kid,
kid, go play,
I didn't
go
want to be
somewhere.
around that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we're saying too. Like, A, it's a parent thing and it's a kid thing. Why do I want my kid here? And B, why is my kid coming in and talking about what's tea? Like that's crazy.
That's
hey, let's
crazy.
hey, commercial, bro.
Okay.
Okay. We finna hit the commercial, y'all. We appreciate you. You know, we got King J in the building. I knew he couldn't resist coming in. That's what's up. Y'all check out this dope underground hip hop.
All praise to the Most High Creator. And upon this Mother Earth, we gotta bring back the love, y'all. We gotta bring back the peace. Bring back some unity.
No more crying. We gotta bring back the love. We gotta bring back the peace. We gotta clean up our streets. No more crying. We gotta bring back the love. We gotta bring back the peace. We gotta clean up our streets.
Let's stop the violence, please. Let's end the killings, please. So the children be at ease in these city streets. Detroit a lovely town. Some devils getting down. Police corruption while the prosecutors all around. But that's a different story, and it's another time. The murders of my people weigh heavy on my mind. I'm missing children gone. Angels up in that zone. Another shooting at a school. Man, this shit is wrong. We sending love to Sudan over in Africa. Yes, it's a war-torn country. Ain't no laughing, bro. Let's get that love back. Let's let our peace stack. Let's take a moment and not worry about no stacking racks. Cause it's a lot of pain moving through the earth. Why? So keep faith in yourself and the Most High. Because life on this earth is just a testimony. That's why we gotta keep it 100. It's too many phonies.
We gotta bring back the love. We gotta bring back the peace. We gotta clean up our streets. No more crying. We gotta bring back the love. We gotta bring back the peace. We gotta clean up our streets.
Let's bring it back like when the street lights would guide us home and focus on this world around us, not the one inside the phone, and not a stone I throw, cause bro, my house is glass, cracked and dirty. Chasing bags, I doubled down and woke up feeling half as worthy. The path is curvy, so the devil lurks at every turn. Ain't preaching, but history repeats itself unless we learn. The earth is burning faster than it's turning. That's how it seems. Imagine all the death that's manifested from a coward's dream. Forgave myself for yesterday, and you can do the same, cause what you think about, you bring about. So look into your brain, tap inside your spirit, you can hear it speaking truth and light. Divine purpose is the value of a human life. Cause if you really wanna bang and slide, reject the evil. Big steppers only grab that weapon to protect the people. Cause every city got a system and no love is felt. And we can't love each other till we learn to love ourselves.
No more crying. We gotta bring back the love. We gotta bring back the peace. We gotta clean up our streets. No more crying. We gotta bring back the love. We gotta bring back the peace. We gotta clean up our streets. Have you got your army? Have you got your guns?
This is a state of emergency. This is a state of emergency.
Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that are pairing straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that are pairing straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Spiritual cancer. Looking for answers, making it all a disaster. Nobody knows how many people you know that are turning to foes. Children be missing here, children be missing there, and it's really a scare. Police be acting foul, assuming that kids in the streets and they're being wild. And what is a runaway? That's the laziest cop in the desk that'll always get paid as the future gets kidnapped. What's the being degraded, becoming the devil's sick slave? Nobody understands the pain and the sorrow that's always standing at hand. Families stay full of pain, families stay full of pain as they yell at your name, hoping and praying. Looking for solace as they all shoot through the shame. Seeing the news vans, all the reporters with microphones, cameras in hands. When will it all end? The murderous scenes, the children that's strung on Halloween. We searching every zone, cause missing and missing and missing, we need them back home.
There's so many missing people of color in the U.S. African Americans remain missing 4 times longer than white Americans. That number is alarming.
Girl, I miss your smile. Ain't seen it in a while. I don't laugh, I just cry. Try to find a reason why. They done took my blood, I'm dry. And I pray at night to the Lord. Yeah, I watch the news and I got the blues, cause I don't see my story.
Have you got your army? Have you got your
Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that are pairing straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Black girls missing.
When a black person is in distress, missing, it's not a big deal to law enforcement because they don't think we have much to lose.
This one always gets me. Just remember when she was a little girl.
Iceberg effect. On the surface, it's so trivial. Do a search and it's 10 times worse. I don't think y'all hear me though. Media got the whole game on hide. They don't seek, they divide. And we don't talk, we just ride. They sleep, but we still outside. We don't trust the police, so we don't speak, and that's fucked up too. Gotta stop the hurt and put the cops to work. It ain't all about you, no. It ain't all about loot, no. It's a burden we all share. New birth to a pallbearer. About the children, we all care. This new things like Wu-Tang for the children. We gotta step up. White staring with your phone with your chest up. Kidnapped in a Tesla, then ride out quietly. They try to see, but they blind, no. Focused on their own kind, no. Not the opposite of our mind, no. Get to work, got a network through the hip-hop. We communicate. Cause I don't know too many runaways, and I'm taking the message from state to state for a child of the people. Cause it ain't all equal. If you can't understand that, then fuck your ego. We know.
Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that are pairing straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening. Black girls missing. Every day got the souls that are pairing straight up twisted. Black girls missing. Every day got police acting like they're straight up listening.
This issue is very, very, very serious. And it's not just little black girls, it's little white girls, little Dominican girls, Mexicano girls, Asian girls. Let's stop. Let's save our children and get these predators off the street.
This little girl that just gotten off the metro with her mom, we were passing out flyers
music, 313. Stakes is high. You know the stakes is high. TTO. You know the stakes is high. Stakes is high as we living out this Babylon. Prophecies get to dropping like a ticking bomb. Look at life, got us moving through this hocus pocus. Take a minute, got us shooting out of forward focus. And we blazing cause the minds wrapped in bandages. Willie Lynch still got us being savages. Presidential bullshit, we see it every day. Whoa, ducking shots from another straight. Whoa, got a cop with some old haters. Beat the politicians moving like they don't skate. Through the arc of the north and the south gate. I'm coming straight from the west side of King Great. Sliding heavy with the knowledge that I'm bringing forth. Bring the balance back to hip-hop, that's our culture source. I keep a line, motherland, she the super force. Know your man, learn your history, the true course. Know yourself, know your God, that's the true boss.
He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior. Rap being the music.
Man salute, palms up. Welcome back, everybody, to Just a Conversation with your favorite Pharaoh godson, the Pharaoh representing Divine Family and the Styles Radio, baby. And right now, we back in the building with life coach Mitch. Appreciate you coming on, King. Once again, thank you again for taking time out from your seed's birthday party and celebration, man, to be with us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here chilling with Just a Conversation, and I appreciate that. Now, we was just chopping it up about, you know what I'm saying, the life coach thing and everything. King J came in with some beautiful, beautiful advice and everything, and understanding that he always have, and it's always a joy to hear that brother speak. Now, let's chop it up about the entertainment end.
Okay.
You being a label owner, mind you, we understand it's indie. Do you have any major distribution ties? Or is that too soon to talk about that?
So it's two parts. It's some stuff that I'm talking on the back end about.
Okay.
And then I do have access to it, but honestly, man, me just being transparent, India is where it's at. Like you get 100% of everything. And then a lot of times, a lot of people just using the machine, the popularity and stuff like that. I rather just grow organically with my artists, do my end. I want to say it's being lazy. I mean, if it worked for you, I mean, go for it. Like if you already had a packaged product and you just need it to be expanded, go for it. If you don't want to do the legwork, I mean, every situation is different. Some people, they kind of just put you in a machine and just spit out, money. And some people get you to put you in a situation where you just got to work 10 times harder. Like, yeah, we put the lights on you, but you got to turn the cameras on. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, I think every situation is a bit different. Me personally, I like what we're doing right now. It's just a matter of just really buckling down and finding our sound and stuff like that. And I mean, the people are receptive. We still getting booked for shows. We touring. People are still downloading my artist, her first EP, which I was glad that I was a part of that. So everything, my producers, our DJ slash producer, this was his first like body of work, and I mean everybody was kind of hands on deck. I mean a few things obviously gonna improve with the album, and we're like, oh, we could have did this, or we could have changed this, and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm comfortable, like I said, where we are and with what we learned from the EP to doing the album. Even with how we distribute it, what platforms will work for us, looking at the analytics, looking at the demographics, like everything, like all that stuff we do in house. Okay, cool. We did great on TikTok. How about on Facebook? Okay, it did this on Instagram. What about Twitter and vice versa. And really like listening to the people. Because we're in a position where, okay, everybody feeling that song, we can put it out. Versus if you're in that machine, this is a
Mm-hmm.
crossover hit. This is what people are, whatever. But we know our audience. We never want to be in a situation where people are trying to tell us about us.
What the right? Yeah, because that's the machine. The
Exactly.
machine wants you to do what they say do, and there's no ifs, ands, buts about it because they didn't already gave you the money up front,
Yeah,
and that's how
exactly.
they look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you'll never want to be in a position where you're trying to recoup their money. That's crazy. Like you 3, 4,
exactly.
5, 10 albums in, still trying to pay these people back. Versus,
Ex-
you probably
and
can't
it's
get a
done
nice and
purposely
slow.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I
Right.
mean, it's just a loan. It's no different than a home loan, a car loan. It's the same thing. We're gonna put this interest on it.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to run this. We gave you 100,000. We need you to do X amount. And then too, I'm
Right.
slow rolling because I want my artists to understand the business side of it too. So I'm kind of walking them through everything. A lot of these artists, and that's what I noticed too. I mean, no shade to nobody. I mean, people, they understand the rap portion, but they don't understand the business portion. A lot of
Right.
people don't even have like the rights to their names or know about ASCAP or BMI or what an EPK is or an EP or know any of the jargon or the functionality of uh, music. They just know that they can rap. I mean, it's cool. It's no different
Mm-hmm.
than the hood homeboy that can hoop, but he don't know
Right.
the fundamentals or even the rules of
Oh,
organized
basketball.
basketball. Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, I can hoop, I can dunk, I can shoot, but
Right.
do you know about 3 seconds? Do you know about traveling, double dribble? Like I said, all the
Yeah.
fundamentals. Or running suicides. I mean, so forth.
And you
So
know
stuff
what's
like that.
crazy, bro? Because I was talking with artist here out of Michigan, Drew Verdi. You probably heard of him. And he's an engineer also. So I was in the studio with him and we was chopping it up about the BMI and ASCAP and stuff. And I was telling him, I said, no, I have all that. I got all that set. It's just, to me, where I'm at in hip hop, I love doing hip hop. I'm not here to get money. I'm not here to get fame, fortune, and all that other stuff. I'm just here to teach through my hip hop. I got a lot of knowledge. I know how to write it, and I know how to put it on a beat. And I love hip hop. So when I told him that, he was like, "Yeah, bro, I get that, man, but the business end." I say, "No, bro, I know the business. I get the business end." And I said, "When it's time for that, then I'll move forward and do that." And every artist should have a time for when they do the business end. And I'm in total agreement with that. A lot of the business end take away the fun of it. It take away the fun of the creation. You see,
Oh,
you have labels, and I'm not saying that your label is like that, but a lot of these major labels, the machine takes away the fun of creating.
I can
You
see that
go
for sure.
in, you come up with the best bars that you feel that your heart told you to write. Bam, you find the rawest track from that label's producer, not your producers that you brought along with you, but from that label's producers. Lay it down just for them to tell you, hey man, that's not trending. We don't want to hear that kind of stuff because it's not going to sell. They ain't even gave you the option to try to let it sell. You get what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So that dynamic has taken the
Excuse me.
fun away from the creation of you sitting there listening to the beat or writing and finding a beat. You know what creators do, because this is what we do as creators. Whether it's R&B, whether you a producer making beats, whether you were instrumentalist and you got a band and you dealing. The
Yeah.
aspect of creativity has been downplayed so much in the music business, and that's every genre, whether it's rock and roll, country, and you can see it by everything that's been played through the radio, what we see on Spotify and stuff like that. It's not in its original format anymore because the
So
fun has been taken away from it.
I'll say this. I think it's on an individual basis because I mean, you get some artists that I don't even want to say artists. I just say rappers. You get some rappers that
Hmm.
just they literally just there to get a bag. You know, they'll do an ABC one two
Yeah,
three rap. You know, catch a
yeah.
little jingle or whatever,
Little
and
jingle hook, right?
yeah, they looking for something to the trend on
They
TikTok or
the one hit
that's kind
wonder
of
shit.
yeah they just want to run it up and they want to tour off this song and call it a day. There's some people that literally be like, oh, this person can do it, I can do it. I'm gonna
Right.
say no names or whatever, but they'll look at certain artists. They be like, oh
Yeah,
man,
I know.
she popping or he popping.
Hmm.
Like, man, I can do this, and I'm like,
Better than that. Right.
yeah. And then you get some people that genuinely love the everything about it. Like me, that's why I did an entertainment company versus a label because I love every art form.
Aspect of entertainment. Right.
Exactly, the
Yeah.
live shows, the band, the the
Comedy.
comics,
All
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
Like my mom, she wrote a book. I got to see her, do book signings and sell out webinar or not webinars, but seminars and stuff like that. I love that. I love that a thought and creation manifested to this. Like people
Right.
love my thought. Like man, they love that you wrote this song and you are immortalized through your work, and I love
Come
that.
on now. Yeah.
So things like that, but you have to have those type of like-minded people. That's why I'm meticulous with the people that I work with and sign. So I can't have a person like, man, I'm trying to run this bag up. Like that ain't what we doing. We building
That's
ground root
exact.
foundation. Like that's why I call it one struggle. It's one on, we all on. Like we all building to, help everybody.
Yeah.
It's not just a you do it and run off with it. Like no, like okay, well, even like with my artist EP, like our first EP, the engineer eating off of it, the producer eating off of it, the DJ eating off of it, me, my
Hmm.
artist, what I'm saying? Like it's a complete project of everybody's work, and
Right.
it's collaboratory and collective, which is great. Everybody we sit in the studio, I'm like, oh man, we did a thing. We came
Right.
from this to this, and we made a project. That's what I like. And again, you have to have those like-minded people. You get somebody come in like, man, I'm trying to run this bag up. I'm just trying to do this, or I'm just trying to, hit a lick. Like this ain't what we're doing.
Right.
We want our children to be able to eat off what we doing right now. Where
Facts.
I'm not fighting somebody over their masters and oh you didn't like no. Give my little
Hmm.
twos and fuse. I'll make it work, and we can kind of go from there. But I'm
That's
also
what's up.
showing my team to. That's why we doing the entertainment company. Okay, well you're an artist. You got a hit. All right, well with this hit, you need to be promoting. You need to be whatever it is. I'm not saying that's a
Hmm.
mandatory thing, but these are additional bags that you can get where you don't have to feel bogged down with this one particular thing. Like, oh man, they making me do this, so I got to do this. Like, no, you can do this thing, or maybe you can
Hmm.
venture out. I'm rapping, but I want to do a live band. I want to try that, or I want to write a
Right.
book, or I want to act, or whatever it is. But all that would be in
Yeah, I
house.
know what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But I'm making it to where they
Yep.
can do it all in house. Okay, you want to do
They can
this?
do all that. Right.
Exactly. And you can try your hand, and it's not. Oh man, he said I gotta. Oh, we got like no, you can do. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm glad because I told you I wanted to chop it up about you. I mean about your label and how you run things anyway. So I'm
No, for
glad
sure.
we got this opportunity to chop it up and then everybody else. Because bro, look, with this Diddy shit and with
Hmm.
all this other shit in hip hop, bro,
I
and
don't want
R
no
and
smoke.
B,
I don't want
bruh,
no.
no. Listen, it is the prime time for the underground to do what the fuck the underground, how Cat Williams would say, to do what the fuck the underground need to do.
No, I will say
Because,
we're going to these shows, man. People have been like hungry for sure, and people trying to like.
bro,
But
yeah,
the only thing about that, people trying to capitalize off that. So you get the people that's hungry,
mm,
and people see that. Then
yeah,
you get the janky promoters and the
yeah.
everybody. Oh,
I mean,
we
you
doing the
always,
deal. And yeah, it's.
yeah, yeah.
I I,
But
I done
see
seen
that,
that so much.
but but see that's where sharp brothers and sisters like yourself is already on point because y'all using your discernment. You see what I'm saying? You already know when the sucker coming because that fool ain't even hit the door yet, but you done already peeped him getting out his car. So it's always ways to get around, the flim flam. They try to come in with the scams and all that other stuff. But you running
So,
something righteous, bro, it's gonna stay founded.
honestly,
And you
the issue that
what you
I'm
saying, you running
oh,
something
go ahead, I'm sorry.
righteous.
It's not even like
Nah,
what
go
we
ahead,
doing
bro.
per se, but it's more or less, because if you're doing the thing one way and you're running the right, do everything you need to do. Obviously, word spread. People want to know. Oh, I see an artist doing this. Man, you got shows over here. Y'all doing this. You good? Hey man, don't die on the show, man. We got stuff to talk about.
Ah. My bad, y'all.
Oh damn! I thought I was gonna have to call a cold blue, man.
Rock and Rock went down a little too fast.
Man,
My bad.
it's all good, man. But
Go
what
ahead,
I was
King.
saying was, so what happens? Like we're running the thing a certain kind of way. So people see you moving, how you moving, and people want to inquire, "Hey man, what y'all doing over here?" Or "How you go about
Right.
this?" But I can't even tell you how many artists that are either signed to somebody or working with somebody else or got another manager or whatever, and like they want to be a part of what we got going, which I appreciate. But I'd be
Right.
like, well, I need to talk to your manager. That's just me because I mean, people hit my artists and stuff up all the time. I got models I work with, I got artists, I got actors, I mean, I got hosts, a little bit of everything. And they'll tell me like, hey, so and so said X, Y, Z, or I tell them to DM you or whatever, which is cool. But what happens when you run your business a certain kind of way? I'm like, bro, I can't manage 30 or 40 people because y'all run your label, however. Or even the
Right.
weird stuff, like how you said the Diddy stuff, like you got regular dudes that ain't even really doing a lot with these labels. They just have a label in name only, like humping on the
Right.
girls, like all types of crazy stuff I hear. Like you making her
Right.
bank for beats, literally. But then they hear how you moving, and they want to be down with that. And then now I want to say I look like the bad guy, but now you looking at me side eye because I'm telling them the right thing. Like, no, you ain't got to do that. No, like, what about this or what about that? And
Right.
this is stuff that y'all should be knowing or asking anyway. But now I'm blowing your cover because I'm telling them the right way or the right thing to do.
Right.
And they was like, "You don't make your artists do this." I'm like, "No, absolutely not.
No.
Like, y'all don't do
For
this.
what?
No." Or they talk to my artists and they be like, "Dang, yo, manager got you on the radio, or he got you on tour. You this. Like, what y'all doing?" I'm like, "Man, we working." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just the crazy stuff that I hear, man, is insane. Like you think it, they try it or say it, especially with the females or the dudes that try to, oh man, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that. Like you playing with somebody's livelihood, their future. They crazy stuff. You get a free studio session or the session, I don't know, 200. You tell them 400 so you can pocket it. Like this your artist. Like come on, man,
Oh,
just
wow.
crazy. Or they making the beats through these apps and oh I got this from so and so. He said it was $100. Like the stuff I hear, bro, is insane. You
That's
trying to
crazy.
Yeah, you're trying to double dip and work your hand, and you don't get blessed like that, man. That stuff don't work out. And then you hear
Nah,
artists
it don't.
blasting this manager, or he a fraud, or he this, or he this person this, and he do bad business. Even with the parties and stuff, people be out of pocket.
Yeah. True. That's
Yeah,
why
but
I say it's good that what you doing is not like that.
yeah,
You
man,
see what
all
I'm
money
saying?
ain't
And I'm
good money,
glad.
man. Like you don't have to step on the neck to get on top.
Exactly.
And
It's
you can hold their
always
hand, guide them,
that's just like the dope game. It's always money in the hood,
bro.
but people get greedy. So
But if,
with
but
greed,
even with that analogy, you can tell who was a real hustler and who wasn't.
exactly.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
if you was getting real money, you was putting your team on. Like I'm making sure they straight. A, so they can have some money, and B, I ain't got to worry about them. And they're gonna be
Exactly.
loyal. Because if I'm the money, they're gonna make sure I'm cool. But if
Then
I'm
why
messing them
not?
over, exactly, and
Exactly.
it's enough money to
Exactly.
go around. I don't have to have
Exactly.
100. I can take 50, 60, whatever. I don't have to take the whole 100 and then still trying to take from you. No, I mean, you make
Mm-hmm.
sure your whole team cool, everybody around you cool. Everybody gonna work 10 times as harder. They're gonna make sure you protected on all fronts, physically,
Yeah.
mentally, emotionally, like whatever. No, you can't talk to the dog. No, we got this. No, we like they're gonna be on it. But it's that crab in the barrel mentality, or you gotta again step on somebody's neck to get ahead. You don't have to do that. Like I don't have to mess
That's
over my team or shoot a move or what. I mean, and it's a sidebar. Like people even do that to their spouses, man. They'll
yeah.
rent eight
You
hundred. You
don't
tell them
have
it's
to
a
mess
thousand.
over nobody.
Yeah, like crazy, bro. I be saying that all the time. Dude's finding out she got Section 8 or she had low income housing. You paying 1,000 for the mortgage is really 200 or just. But again, that
Mm-hmm.
all started at home. Like you have that crab in the barrel, that mentality. Like
Right.
I was explaining to my son. He had a situation where he couldn't understand why a particular thing had happened, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like you trying to wrap your head around. You trying to make something logical that isn't logical to you. And I was like, you stressing yourself out trying to figure out the why. So I gave him an example. I was like, somebody can drop $100, right? Or scratch that. Somebody can drop their wallet and there's $100 in it. I told him it's a few kind of people. You get the person, they're trying to figure out who the wallet is. They're gonna call, hey, Mr. Smith, I seen you drop the wallet, blah blah blah. I could bring it to you. You're gonna get the
Mm-hmm.
person that's gonna take the money and then tell somebody that there was a wallet there.
Right.
Then you're gonna get somebody that's gonna take the wallet, take the money, and then run up some scam or something with the identity. You know,
That too. Or
but
just
it's
take the money and throw the wallet away.
exactly, but it's always gonna be them type of people. You're trying to figure out why this person's
Which
like
part?
that. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's just how they see things. One person may see a
Right.
wallet as a good gesture. Dang, somebody really need this. It might be their rent money. Blah blah blah. They're gonna try to give that to
Mm-hmm.
them.
Then
The
somebody
next
go look at
person,
it as a blessing.
exactly. And somewhere like, oh God, like no, God didn't put that there for you. Somebody's misfortune isn't your blessing. That's crazy. But again, that's their mentality, and you trying to figure out why they like this. Like you're gonna stress yourself out.
Society, just
Yeah,
society taught us to be like that, though.
yeah,
That's what I was saying earlier in the conversation about
yeah.
is that society. Because when you said it starts in the home, yeah, but is that a societal thing where, like King J said, if my grandparents did it and they parents did it, you know what I'm saying? Because okay, prime example, fashion. One minute a style or a trend to be in, and the next few months later something else has been all that shaped by how fashion is in society. So society say, "Oh, we done with wearing this. We gonna start wearing this." Then everybody fall in line with it with no ifs, ands, buts, or you know what I'm saying? No questions. Not saying everybody, but majority
Yeah.
go fall in line with it, and it goes like that. That's what I mean
So,
about do
so I,
society actually dictate actions that we do?
so I'll say yes, but it's also a connected portion to the how we're saying like it start at home. So, prime example, your
Hmm.
homeboys and them they on some hot stuff. They want to I don't know they want to steal a car, right?
Okay.
Now, society is the friends that want to do the thing, steal the car. We gonna get this money. The at
Hmm.
home thing is, man, my mama kicked my tail, bro, if she found out I'm in a stolen car. And my daddy would go
Facts.
crazy if he knew I was hanging with Lil Ray Ray and them. So that's the
Right.
at home portion that I'm talking about. Society
Gotcha.
can throw whatever at you, but if you know at home, like, nah, even small stuff, the street lights come on, Big Mama want us at the crib. Like, you don't even think
All
about it. You
day.
know this is associated with what I need to do at home. But those are the things that, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that start at home. So when you start
Yeah.
to stay, do whatever, that's what I mean. You have to
Gotcha.
ingrain those particular things. Like with Big Mama, hook or crook, we was getting up going to church.
Hmm.
You can hang, whatever, do
Yeah.
what you want to do Saturday. I need you at my door that Sunday morning, whether you want to go or not. Now, was that a good thing? I mean, to each his own. But
Right.
those are just certain things that you just knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I was saying with
yeah,
the behaviors, if somebody wants to go do a particular thing, skip school, like whatever it is, when you have that at home foundation, like, man, I ain't like I have that risk and reward factor. Like the risk ain't worth the reward if I get caught. Or even
right,
thinking, you know, your parents or whomever your parental figure is will be in the back of your mind, like, man, this ain't it. Whether they're going to drink, they're going to turn up, they're going to smoke, they're going to whatever. You know what I'm saying? You think about all that type of stuff.
right. Yeah,
And
I get you on that.
yeah, think about it.
And
Like,
is it worse as far as a teenager, or is it worse as a young adult in that type of situation? Because I know teenagers catch it, school, trying to fit in, um, trying to find out which way they want to go identity wise, stuff like that, and like that hits puberty and stuff like that. But at the
I,
same time, for young adults, when in their early 20s, just stepping out their teens, now they supposed to be in college, or if they are in college, you know what I'm saying, or if they say, okay, I ain't going to college, I'm finna get a 9 to 5, stuff like that. A lot of that stuff don't work out because you got a lot of these youth, a lot of the youth that's in full fledged relationships at 19 with kids,
yeah.
and I'm like,
So
why,
it really
why,
did.
why would you do that when you got
But
a whole life ahead of you?
but see, that come from, again, at home. That come from mom and daddy letting the girlfriend stay the night or come over, or
That too.
you can stay
Yeah.
out when you want to, or like how I don't know who you humping on. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be in y'all business per
You
se.
ain't got to be right, right,
Yeah, but I,
right.
I don't I don't know your girlfriend name. You messing with that girl. That girl. What? Like what's happening here? Or
Hmm.
or even we can dip off into the girls most with the older dudes. Why your baby daddy 35 and you 17? But
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about nothing. Like no, that's unacceptable, bro.
No,
But
that's. I agree. I agree with
a-
that. You're
as
right.
far as the teen, I'll just use my kids as an example because they fit that demographic. So with
Hmm.
my, it's really the foundation, and my sons kind of had a cheat code because obviously they're siblings. But it
Okay.
really depends on if they have a foundation at home and a friend group, or are they that loner kid? They didn't have any siblings, they didn't have cousins around their same age and stuff like that. Those are the kids that
Hmm.
usually have a hard time, unless they're like an athlete, then they kind of have like that friend group. But if you just
Right.
got the
I know what you're
one
saying.
loner kid, they kind of have issues. And I just noticed that from mentoring and coach or life coaching and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Yeah. That they. Yeah. The
yeah,
loners, they be introverted a lot
yeah, those are ones
because
being
they
the
don't want to
main,
talk. Yeah,
yeah,
they don't want to talk to nobody.
yeah. Versus
Yeah.
my oldest,
Extroverted.
my oldest son is hanging with a guy now, and he was like that in school. I mean, he knew my son, but they
Hmm.
didn't hang out, and they ended up hanging
Right.
out. I mean, like I say, he's 20. They, pretty much grown,
Right.
and he kind of like insanely gravitate to my son. I mean, which is great, but he like dang, like it's it's hard to say. Like he really like gravitates to him. Like, oh man, like your parents, you this, you got your life together, you got a girlfriend, you in college. You know what I'm saying? He looking at all that type of stuff, and he really don't have
Hmm.
that. Like my son still go hoop with his friends, and they talk about
Right.
life. And my son was there when
Right.
we did the mentoring. Like he comes with me doing a lot of that, so he kind of
Right.
sees that. And but that helps though. On the flip side, because
Right.
it's helping old boy kind of get out of that shell and stuff like that. But that's hard, man.
Yeah.
As
Make.
a teenager, I don't want to say with no friends, but you don't have like a solid friend group, because then that's when the progression come in. Then back to the first scenario is
Hmm.
now well, little Rary and them doing it, so I did it too. No, like
Right.
no. And then
Yep. Now they throwing up set signs and all that stuff.
exactly, now you
Yeah.
stealing cars and doing stick ups and all this other stupid stuff.
Right.
But again, that what I'm saying, that goes back to the home situation, because I should know if my son is, or just kid in general, son, daughter is lonely, depressed, don't have a great social circle. Those type of
Right.
things you kind of need to know. And that's why I say it all
Exactly.
kind of stems from home. You'll have the
Agreed.
parent that'll put the kid in whatever, gymnastics, any type of sports, PAL, AAU, chess club, something. Like I'm gonna get you in
Right.
some type of situation where you can socialize. But you need to, again, like I say, with me, it all starts at home. So if I
Yeah.
don't know none of that, you just assume that you sending the kid to school and chuck it up. Because a lot of people send these kids to school and they're like, "Ooh, I ain't got nothing to do till 4 o'clock, to 3 o'clock."
Man, what?
They be checked
Yeah.
out to,
Yeah.
or the ones
I totally
that work
agree.
that time or that's free that time, and
Yep.
then when the kid get home, then they going to work. So y'all 2 shifts in the night. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. That's
but
that's a whole nother thing there.
yeah. With me, like I said, everything is always going to resonate back to home.
Right. No, I totally agree. We have a brother, Top. He always say the same thing. He said, if the parents get it right, then they ain't got to worry about the children being right.
Right.
So, but see, it's not a guidebook to, okay, when the child born, or hell, even when we born.
Yeah.
Ain't no guidebook dropped in our lap to say, okay, this is how to be a father, this is how to be a mother, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just is by ear and it's by sight. And it's definitely by faith, you see, because it's a responsibility in raising another human being. And I think a lot of human beings take that for granted,
No, absolutely.
having a baby. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the times and are you financially able? Do you even got a roof over your own head? Not that you stand with grandma or in your mama basement or whatever you at. If it's not yours, then it's not stable for that child.
Yeah, people, the action come first, and then the reaction is usually what kind of catch people up. Even like people don't date with intention. Like, you know how many babies is here because of one night stands or hooked up with so and so or whatever, and then what
No,
happens is you realize you
women
don't
date
even
with
like her.
intention.
But that's what I'm
Men
saying.
don't
Like,
date with intention. Yeah.
but just because I have access to you doesn't mean I should take
Take
advantage.
advantage of it.
Like if I really don't like you, but I just know you are available, that's a me thing.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
that's
she sent me through the
selfishness.
ringer and be a bad baby mama because I don't know her. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna use myself as an example. It was a young lady I was dealing with, and I had never seen her house. Like in the daytime,
Hmm.
I couldn't. I used to just go in, and she had a lower level and upstairs. Upstairs,
Hmm.
bust a left to her room. You can pay me to tell you what any other part of her house looked like. Like literally, all the lights would be out. I come in there, I hit them steps and bust that. She
Right.
wouldn't even turn the light on when I went in the bathroom. But now, what if I'd have knocked her up? I ain't know nothing about her. Nothing. I just knew she was
Hmm.
available. We did what we did or whatever. Like we
And that was
kicked it. We had a
that.
small conversation. Even when she used to hit me up, she used to send a question mark. That was the extent of our conversation. Was I coming through?
Right. Because
Like
that was the
that's,
extent of the relationship.
but that's insane that I was even humping on her. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'd have knocked her up, then I'm trying to explain. Like, and I say that to say
Yeah.
like after we, stopped talking or whatever, I went over there and kicked it with her. The house was a mess. I mean, it looked like it was a lot going on. But I'm like, dang,
Okay.
like, what I'm saying? Stuff on on point. But again, me out here
Right.
just loosey goosey, you know what I'm saying? Doing whatever. Then I
Yeah.
would have to double back, try to know who she is, what
Find
you
out.
like, and all. Yeah, and that's
Right.
what usually happens. Then we be like, oh man, my baby mama this, my baby mama that. Like, no,
But you should
you
have found out first.
exactly. Like we
Yeah.
skipped the whole courting phase. They be like, you like ice cream? I like ice cream. Cool, let's go do it. Or you available? I'm available. Cool. Like, no, that's crazy, but that's what we do. And then we try to, well, she this and she don't want to let me see the kid and blah blah blah. Like, no, you have to separate being a parent versus you mad because she won't let you hump on her no more, or you mad
Right.
because he got a girlfriend, or you didn't know he was married, or whatever the circumstances are. And that's
Right.
what happened. And then these babies, are collateral damage, and you trying to figure it out. You mad at him, so now he can't see the kid. You mad at her, so now
Come
you don't
on
want to do
now.
nothing for the kid. Like, man, that's
Exactly.
crazy. But
Exactly.
with me, I want to say I'm more upset with the circle because you can't be my homeboy and you a deadbeat. That's just me personally.
Right.
But you get these other dudes that condone that type of behavior, or the other women that condone. No, if he don't do this, don't let him see the baby. Like, come on,
Yeah, they
man.
go.
Like, what are
Yeah,
we doing?
because this is the mentality that they was raised in. That's what
Exactly.
I was gonna ask you. That's what I was gonna ask you also, as far as like during your sessions with people, do you get into the aspect of thinking processes? You know, where did you get your thinking processes from? What influence as a child made you grow up to thinking certain things were correct or certain things were incorrect? You get what I'm saying? Do
No,
you cover that
absolutely.
in your sessions?
Yeah. So again, with me, like I was privy to a lot of stuff that other kids weren't, and I'm aware of that.
Hmm.
Like again, like my grandmother, she was in the household. She was a social worker. My dad
Okay.
had his own business since I can remember.
Right.
And hustled it, whatever. And then, like I was saying, my mom is an educator. So I understand I was privy to certain information, certain thinking patterns, you know, everything, even financial literacy, like all this stuff I understood that I was privy to. And that was a special thing, just from the
Okay.
conversation I have with others. Even now, I still have my mother around and, the stuff my wife does. And I have access to certain
Hmm.
things that I understand. So I
Right.
use that with discernment.
Okay.
And with me, a lot of times with clients, I'll call it the how factor. So we figure out the thing and then we figure out the how. So what I
Mm.
usually try to do is break it down to the most minute thing that you can do. Again, let's use
Okay.
the promotion as an example. You want to get a promotion. So we got to go from promotion to first step. So
Mm.
let's say the first step, like I use a girl as an example, she wasn't on time. So we're going to take it back all the way to being on time. And then we have to figure out
Right.
why we can't be on time. So we had to break down that most minute thing to get to the larger goal. But a lot of times people don't
Which
want to
is
do that work. They're
that
like, oh,
work,
this didn't
that
happen.
leg work.
Yeah,
Right.
like, no, okay, we said your son do this. Do they have latchkey? Are you able to do this? Are you able to drop off of this? You know what I'm saying? You work out those things. Okay, all right, cool. Now I give you a workout time. Okay, am I going to be
Hmm.
productive? Okay, we had the thing with the lunch situation. Okay, we're going to use the
Right.
timer. Are we going to start bringing our own lunch because you're trying to run and get lunch, and then you mad because all right, I went out and I only got 10 minutes to eat. Versus the 20 minutes you spent to go get it. Okay, let's
Right.
change that behavior. Okay, now we got that
Right.
done. Okay, are we productive when we get on the floor? Did we already go use the bathroom? All this other stuff that people usually
Yeah.
do right after they clock in from lunch. All right, I'm back up. I'm getting paid to go to the bathroom. No, that's not what they're looking for. But I mean, people do it. Like I'm gonna clock in, then go pee.
No, I look. I
You know what I'm
didn't. I
saying?
didn't done it myself, bro. I didn't
Yeah,
look. Are you right?
yeah.
No, I agree with. But see, that's what I'm saying. And everything you said, you do go into the aspect of
Yeah, absolutely.
individual changing their thinking processes
Absolutely,
because it's all about perception. Exactly.
absolutely.
For sure, for sure. Man, I
Yeah.
appreciate you all. We 2 hours full in, bro. I appreciate you coming on. Let the
No,
people
man,
know
for
where they
sure.
can find you at, man. Where they can find One Struggle Entertainment at.
Uh, like I said, on all socials is One Struggle Entertainment. All you gotta do is pop in One Struggle with the number one, and then Struggle ENT or Entertainment spelled out. Life Coach Mix, same thing on all platforms. Also, my new endeavor, my new podcast is dropping soon. Definitely still follow. It's called Unfiltered and Elevated. So it's unfiltered and then unfiltered and then the at symbol and symbol. Jesus Christ, and symbol. So it's unfiltered and elevated podcast. So
Okay.
definitely tune in. Gonna have a bunch of stuff coming on. Definitely gonna have to have y'all on. We just get into it, man. We staying busy, we staying working, trying to elevate the culture. Just do what we can, man. Send out those
Any
positive vibes
shout
and do
out?
what we can.
That's what's up. Any shout outs? Any artists you want people to know about? Any
Uh,
YouTube channels they can go to?
Definitely, man. Check out My artist Nettie. That's her name is That's the Real Nettie on all platforms. EP is out. It's called Misunderstood. Definitely check out my other artist Queenie Town. Uh, she has a Fast Life crazy song she working on. She kind of got some stuff she got going on. She working with now. Shout out to my co-host Ari. She's super dope. Shout out to my sister who's on her makeup journey. Drea Booker. She been booked and busy. Shout out to my new artist I'm working with, Agent Monique. She got a crazy single that she's working on. Like I said, we're just grinding, man. Shout out to my whole team. Shout out to the wife. Anybody I forgot, trying to tell my mind, not my heart. I appreciate y'all and just everybody, with the grind, man. We booked and busy and we working.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Once again, man, salute to you, King. Once again, happy Pappy Day, happy weekend. Enjoy yourself, man. Appreciate you coming through. Come through again anytime. And
Appreciate you, man.
like I said, send a couple of them MP3s to nostalgicradio@gmail.com.
Yeah,
And you know they
did you
get
send
it
it to
in.
did you send it to my inbox already?
No, I didn't. I will do that. And
Yeah, send it to me.
they'll
I'll
get
send you
it
some over there.
into the rotation on the commercial breaks. Oh, okay.
Okay, bet.
There we go.
Appreciate you.
Yep. Bam. There we go right there. Appreciate you, King J. Appreciate everybody coming in. And like I said, this is just a conversation. And y'all know, tune in next Saturday for another special guest. Man, salute. Happy Pappy Day, y'all.
Just went up. Price just went up. Price just went up. Price just went up.
Gon' let go my ego, they call me the Hebrew, these niggas are see-through. Go out on my own, cause waiting around, what did it teach you? Compared to the feather, my heart is so heavy, but never forsaken. Said my love is never taken, just got back down on the break again. Low was left at the wake again, so down for good, no more breaking in. I want some money in a mansion, Rolls Royce I can dance in. Maximize on my plans again, I need more shows, more love, more fun, more drugs, less hugs. The price went up. Price just went up. Price just went up. Price just went up. Price just went up. So look here, I don't get enough. The credit gon' come with the touch. We trippin', he said that I fuss. Yeah, he fucking, I can't get enough. I really been on my low-key shit, watered down on my bad bitch. Wants me out, he can't ravish. Bad bitch, pretty savage. Not in the past tense, right here. Make it make good sense right now. What is you saying? Be clear. I'm tired of dripping in tears. Dismantling all of my fears. I'm coming so close that it's clear. A rush to stand up and bang. So lit that I watch how I change. They yearn, I watch how I sing. He burn, he fuck everything. They call him, he bringing them names. Discern, they fucking with lames.
You know, life.